Hey guys, this is Victoria Munoz, and this is Let's Get Deep. Today we have two wonderful guests.
Hi, I'm Tristan Prather.
Hi, I'm Arianna.
And oh my gosh, I gotta tell you guys, today I saw them perform and I was like, wow, this is really the future. Like, they're really about to be the next actors and next inspiration to the next generation. Like, they're changing how things are. You know, because it's like we don't really see people like them so passionate about this. That just, like, the character, it just one, you know, with them. They just make it feel like so real. And I mean, I'm so proud of them. I saw them and I was like, I can't believe this is, you know, this is what they're doing with their life. You know, they're trying to improve. They're trying to get better and do something more than just a simple thing, you know?
Yes. Understand that completely. And I think that's a lot with this generation.
Yes.
I think that these generations are actively seeking for change. I think we have been so content with being stable. We've been so content with being okay. And I think this upcoming generation has seen a lot of what's wrong and what we don't like, and we have a lot of togetherness. What people don't understand, I think social media really brought us together as a generation for us to completely understand what is right and what is wrong. And this generation, everyone in this generation is actively seeking change. They see something wrong and they want to fix it. And I think that is what is awesome. And that's why I love putting on shows, and I love that we're trying to put on shows during COVID, because it just seems like no one is trying to fix it. They're just here.
Yeah.
And I want a world where I know that I can constantly wake up and I know that there's people out there that are looking for changes, not just changes for me, but for changes for women, changes of people of color, changes of for everyone. Because in America, if we're told that we are this mixing pot, we need to be that mixing pot.
Yes.
We don't need to be just a pot of boiling water on the stove, and we only use those spices when we want to take something from them. I shouldn't pick up the Latin spice because I want to listen to Latin music today. I should embrace that culture and for what it is, and respect it for what it is, and understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times Americans don't do that. They see everyone else. By Americans, I mean white America. They see everyone else as people in the back burner. And like I said, they see them as spices in the shelf. And they can pick them up when they want to. If they don't want to add that black spice today, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to do the Asian spice today. They don't have to deal with that. And sometimes they're discriminated against the spice. They will say, I don't want to use that spice at all. That spice is awful. So it's just great that we're seeking change, you know? Just great that we're seeking change.
Yeah, and I just want to take that back to voting, because I feel like in our the past couple years, I feel like when older people speak about younger people like voting, they think that, oh, they don't know anything about politics, or this shouldn't concern them because, you know, it's my tax dollars. They don't think that we're like, okay, this is our life too. We're living in the same world that you're living in, so the same stuff that you're going through, we're gonna have to go through it too.
Very much so.
Because like, we're paying taxes, we're getting jobs now, we're going to school, and mostly y'all are gonna be on your Social Security check soon. So really, it's the world that we're making, and we need to put our voice in it so that like we can be heard as well, because that is like the world we're gonna be living in, you know.
I do think people have a hard time accepting change, especially older people. But also, there's a lot of older people who have experienced it and seen it. And like I said, I just love change. I love that we're here and pushing for that change.
And it's the thing, it's like how you said, like, we're finally understanding this. And because, I mean, if you think about it, the past, like, the baby boomers and all this stuff, they're no longer babies. They're about to die.
They're about to die.
And they're, like, their decision, like, I mean, they might die into the period that's gonna last, you know? Like, those 4 years, murder is gonna be, like, gone, you know? And it's like, yes, we need to understand that if these people are not really gonna they're not making the decision for our future, but it's like for the future that they have left. You know, it's like they're not really thinking of us, because it's like they're saying like, hey, you're old enough to, you know, to start putting your mark. I don't have to, you know, change my decision because of your belief, you know. I don't have to do that because I've been following somebody else's belief for so long that this is finally my time to do it. But it's like they understand that they don't want to go back to that point, you know. And that's why they're being the true selves. And sometimes it's like, you know, not good, but it's like but it's just like what they know.
Yeah.
Because again, they followed somebody else's perspective or belief, or, you know, and they were not right, because if you think about it, during that time, that was right.
That was right.
And that's the thing. It's like sometimes we're like, oh fuck, like I feel like something like, damn, I don't want to be mean to this person because they're doing something bad. Because I mean that's how they grow up, but at the same time it's like now they know better, they can understand it, and they can change it. Like, I understand that was your past, okay, we have to understand it and let it go and learn from it and just be better.
Yes, that's what I always tell people. I always tell people essentially that your actions speak louder than your words. If you said something out of pocket and someone corrected you on it and you are actively seeking to fix it, that tells me as a person that you don't agree with that. And when people don't actively seek to fix it, and they are content with being stationary, they are content with the world that's built that obviously wasn't correct. It was easier for them to be content. And that is where I seem to have a problem, because like you said before, it's very clear that to them it's just, this is what they know, this is natural. But people have got to start seeing that, well, that way is being pushed out. We got new people coming in now, and the youth has such a different way of thinking, and that's another thing. I think the youth needs to start getting more involved into politics, only because we have all these older people speaking for us, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when there's a clear divide on how older people think and how younger people think, there needs to be an engulfment. There needs to be a mixture. And then that's what should run the country. It shouldn't be these outdated ideals still being pushed out by the government. I think I was watching this video today with Sarah Paulson and the cast of Ratchet, and it's a all female cast, and so they sent them a book, and it was like basically how to hire a female. A book that was written like in the 1950s probably, but it had a recopy in 2008. And in my mind, that's baffling to me that people would even make a recopy of a book explaining how to hire a female.
Still want the people to
think
like
and the statements in that book were like, if you're hiring a husky woman, be sure to treat them kindly because they tend to have an attitude. That or you see what I'm saying?
So
and it painted women in a degrading light. And the fact that it was reprinted in 2008 says a lot. And I think people are forgetting that bad way of thinking has been here. It's just that now people are waking up and they're not standing for it. And it's really the youth with the voice, because I couldn't think of a world of growing up without seeing my Latin friends, or I couldn't think of a world without growing up without having a connection with females. As a gay man, not being able to understand a female and to just put them beneath me as a man doesn't even sound right to me. It sounds repulsive. Yeah. And to some people, it doesn't sound that way. It doesn't sound that way. And I think that that's also crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, what does it say about them? You know, in the sense, like, what about their family, mom? Like, how do they treat their mom? Like, nothing. Yeah. That's so is that kid learning from like another parent? So it means that their husband is doing that to the woman. And then the kid is believing through his life that this is how it's supposed to, be. Like, yes. That's how we're supposed to continue to treat women because that's how our parents did it. I think that's why our environment important so much. Like, we need to be in an environment that feels safe and like you feel in peace with it, because like I agree with what's happening right now. I don't have I'm not like thinking later, was that right, was that wrong, because it's like I thought it was wrong, but I guess they're doing it so that makes it right. Because growing up, I learned, like, I saw this often. I was like, my dad would make little jokes like, oh, you little fat, your moo, something like that. It's just like funny things, or not. It will be like just like things, and I'm like, So if a guy says that to me, is that okay? Yeah, like, is that in a way? I mean, if he says that, it's because he's right. He just pointing something out that I might not see because maybe I'm just not that smart. But in reality, I would have never seen it because it's not real.
It's not real. It's not real, and I think. People do that a lot to women. They make them think that they are less than, or they make them think that what they feel is wrong.
Yes, because it's so strong.
It's so strong, and women are such such immaculate creatures. They feel so much. And when you grow up in a world where they're telling you what you're feeling is wrong, I can never say I understand what it feels like to be a woman, because I couldn't. Yeah. I genuinely could not do that.
Especially like it depends like in what type of surrounding you're in, because it can be based off on your color. Like black women are seen to be aggressive or very loud or very bold in all types of ways. So if I get a little bit too loud with you, I'm coming at you in the wrong type of way. When really the only thing I'm trying to do is get my point across to you so you can see it from my point of view. But, you know, they take it the wrong way, or certain ways like that. And then you also have the certain ones where, like, they try to put you in a category just on how the way that you act or that you talk. So I'm black, but if I speak proper, I'm bougie. But if I have a little type of a few problems like with my English, then I'm ghetto. I was raised in the hood. I'm illiterate. Why is that such a big problem though? I can't have two sides of me where I can speak speak proper in the right type of situation, but can I speak normally in a other type of situation? Yeah. Why is that such a problem for people?
And people do that a lot when it comes to you speak, if you sound this way, you have to be this way. And if you do this, you have to do that. And it's like, you tell me that I'm supposed to authentically be who I am. And when I am, you tell me I'm not in the correct category. And once again, going back to America, I think Americans love to focus on themselves, because you're not American.
No, I'm Dominican.
You're Dominican. So Americans have this way about themselves where it's like me. And if someone doesn't fit in what they think, it's a problem. Mm-hmm. It's like change.
Because you're fighting, you're challenging their own mind. And you're like, whoa, this person is not making me comfortable. This person is not making me feel like what I have been living through my whole life, it's a lie, or you know, it's truth. So it's like that makes them feel like, no, like they can't be that way because it's only the way that I've seen it. You know.
And my Latin friend back home, she used to tell me, because she's really smart, like very much valedictorian of her class, like, and she used to intern at like these offices, and she used to tell me how sometimes if she speaks too fast, they are like, well, we don't understand you, so we're not gonna listen, or she speaks too fast, they think she's being sassy or she's being bossy. And it's like, those thoughts have got to get out the window. Yeah. Especially in 2021 when, bitch, we could have a woman president.
Yep, we will.
we will.
Eventually, you know. It's coming. It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't, like, it's just, change is so hard for America. It is so hard for America, especially for a country that basically was created and sought out to seek change. For them to
that was the whole point.
Literally, that's the whole point. For you to go out and seek change and seek freedom and then create a country.
But it's built on everything that...
It's not. Exactly. It's not. For you to create a country that's basically everything that you ran from is crazy. And what I...
Sorry, I just realized that's kind of like, that's really advertisement right there. They say, well, we're going to discover a new place, but we need to bring people, you know, and the only way that we can bring people over there is by making them believe that they're going to be better. But because if we tell them like, hey, there's nothing there, you have to figure that shit out, and you will have to kill people, you will have to take advantage of people to survive. But you're doing that for you. It's not for us. No. It's not for us to like have another place to own. But no, it's for you to live the best life and the unique life. You know, we're just united. But it's like,
and I'm still stuck on the fact on how they wanted to be away from the slavery of being by the king, you know.
Exactly.
But how can you bring over people to be your slaves? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Yeah. How could you live as a person? Well, how could you not want to live as that type of person, but bring someone over to replace your spot and make you you know, you become their king?
And I think that's where that part of like they just want to continue to believe, they don't want to be challenged of the idea that they already own, or like it's part of them. But
mine.
Yeah, like second, this is like my past, like I need to like keep it going, but like in a sense like without hurting me, you know. And that also, like, I don't know, I was talking to you or to somebody, Jaden, that he was telling me like he can't believe that people actually enjoy making other people feel sad or, you know, mad or whatever, and like negatively. But it's like, how can a person will actually genuinely want to do that to somebody else? If you weren't trying to protect, you don't want somebody, you hated that feeling so much that now you wanted to do with somebody else.
Right.
Why do you want somebody else to carry the same pain as you?
And I think when they left the king, obviously in their minds they felt like, well, our reward is America, so this is mine.
Yeah.
But then you create something that's called the American dream, and you advertise to people from other countries that you can come over and you can do whatever you want. You can grow and be a movie star. You can do this, but they don't tell you that if you're not white, you're not superior. If you're not white, you're not superior. They don't tell you those things. They don't read that. They don't go over that in the history. And that's another thing. American history is so biased that for people to not see how detrimental that is, as a black male, for me to not be able to trace my ancestry and for the white person next to me to not care hurts. For me to have to sit here and learn your history, but for you to not have to do the same for me, hurts. It hurts, and it's damaging me. And I think people don't see that. They don't see how that one thing alone, just teaching American history bias, they don't see how that is damaging you as a woman of color, how that's damaging you as a woman of color, how that's damaging me as a man of color.
And they think just one little month of February is enough for us to learn
the shortest
month.
The shortest month.
Coincidence? Like,
right.
And let's not forget, you might have one play, or they might let you remember,
and that's it.
One quote from one black person every day. Like, really, what about the other days of school?
Right.
And in school, I used to have a big problem with the fact that the only thing we really touched on about African culture or African American culture was slavery and the civil rights movement. And the only reason we touched on those is because they were so monumental. But what about those things that black people have created and that we use every day? What about those things that we implement?
Oh, they think teaching Gandhi is enough for that. You know that.
And the thing about it is, Gandhi was racist.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
Gandhi was racist.
That's the craziest thing. Oh, well, he believes what he believes. So we can let him pass through it. Like, he can, he
can pass through it. And they do that with a lot. Like, even in the book, I don't think it shows Andrew Jackson in a positive light, but it also doesn't inform you and describe him as the negative being that he was. As a president, to basically tell a whole group of people to basically walk to their deaths across the country so you can get rid of them just because you want their land.
Like, that's not...
That's awful.
I'm sorry, that sounds right as a human being.
As a human being?
Like, what? And you know how many that die? Like, the whole story and see, like, when I learned that in history, like, I was just like, there's no fucking way. These people are... That's where I started having kind of, like, that... I started, like, understanding, like, anger, you know, to history. Because I was like, it really carries a lot. Because if you don't know it, you're not even aware of, like, everything else that's happened. Like, that happened, but, shit, that happened.
And I feel like the things we need to know, they do, like, in a little brief argument.
Yeah, like, they don't want to go to it because then that will make you question and go deeper. And then you're like, oh, fuck, like, we need to teach them more.
The thing about our culture, they only tell us about our culture when we're at our lowest. They only tell us about when there's a massacre, when we are at our lowest,
or when we did something bad,
right?
When we're at fault.
They never inform us over our culture. Like, I can understand how much of a culture shock it would be for you coming from the Dominican Republic to America and learning about this American history. And it is like you have people who are diehard Americans, but they don't like to address the awful things that Americans have done. They have this shield over their eyes of them being uneducated, and they, like I said before, they're content with being uneducated. They're content with knowing that they're American. And Americans genuinely think they are the best people in the world.
And why must they feel that people that come from other nations or countries, that they're immigrants? Well, how the hell did you get here?
How did you get here? Because technically, this is not yours.
Exactly.
And you've seen the trend on TikTok about Columbus Day, and people were not saying Happy Columbus Day. They were not celebrating. They requested that it was changed to Indigenous. An Indigenous Day. Because how can you, as an immigrant, come to a country and take it? Take take it, but don't celebrate those people that it came from. Don't talk about those people that it came from.
Giving diseases, say that they were like just animals. What they were? What do you mean? They have
I'm
a
barbaric
whole
because
life out here in culture.
That's what I'm saying. If you see me as a group of people developing and thriving as a people, having our own communication, but because it's not your communication, or because we don't have weaponry you, we're savages, we're beasts, we're animals. What? How can you get? I was reading this in history, and it was like basically the creation of racism, how white America created racism.
Yep.
And it initially didn't start as a race thing, but as a thing of, well, we have to build a country, and we don't kind of want to build it, so why not build indentured servants? Because that's how war was. You know, if you got in a war, you were the servants. And so they thought of it that way. But once the indigenous people started dying off because they started bringing disease and they started raping and pillaging and murdering them, they had to start replacing them with other people. And
that's why the slave from Africa.
And then that's why they went to Africa and they bought slaves from our own people, because in our mind, we are simply just living as singular tribes. This tribe will fight and capture this tribe because da-da-da-da. So for them to sell us and then come over here and then treat us like that, and then it goes from basically now it's not you're just workers. Now you're mine. Now I own you. Now I paid for you. So now you're beneath me.
I can do whatever I want because
I can do whatever I want because I paid for you. And that's when they turned people to objects.
Yep.
And as a group of people, for you to sit there and say someone who pumps the same blood as me, whose inner organs are exactly as mine, for you to sit there and say they're animals. You're beneath me. You're mine.
You're not even real.
To add ownership on a human being, wow.
This is crazy. It really blows like our minds, because think about it. This is like we see. It's like, you know how they say like Americans treat better dogs than other human beings. I understood this the other day. Actually, I was walking and then I saw there was an area where the dog they park the dogs, you know, and then they have a little tent, so when it rains they can be in there outside, you know. And I was thinking to myself, in the homeless that are here sleeping in the next to the buildings, and then they get watered down, kick out, get to the police officer, and they wouldn't even help them, just get them in trouble basically for being less, you know. But it's like they got to the point because at some point they messed up because they weren't following the system, and the system would say, we don't want to do you anymore because it's like you're not benefiting us, you know? And you're nothing anymore. Yes.
That's one thing about this governmental system. Once you stop adding to it, once you stop benefiting from it, they're not gonna help you. They're not, and even if you don't have to give anything, but if they can make a profit off of you, they're gonna use you for everything you got, and
until they can't get
any more. And then once you fall, they don't care if you fall. They don't care if you fall. We're replaceable.
You can get anybody. $15, maybe, like,
yeah. And it like I said, the world, I think it's at an all time. I think the world is having a conversation right now. A conversation that should have been had, but now that you have, like I said, this generation of young people everywhere, seeing that the way we operate is not correct. I think that now we're starting to have this bigger and better conversation. And I am glad that we're having this conversation, because I used to fear growing up in a world where I have to bring a child in. That looks like me.
I never thought of like having an actual family like
me
that.
Neither. And I fear having children. And that's another thing. A lot of people in our generations are not settling down. They're not getting married. They're not having kids because they have a fear of, one, women have a large fear of pregnancy. Black women have a large fear of pregnancy because of the fact that basically they don't treat black women right when they get pregnant.
It's already a stereotype because, you know, it's already hard for a black woman to at least get a job, and then keep a job. Because not only are we stereotyped by our hair or our hairstyle, because there's been plenty of times I've had to go to work to certain jobs and they're like, your hair is a little bit too big or it's a little bit too colorful. We need you to like tone it down. I'm natural. My hair is up. It doesn't go down. So there's no possible way for me to do that at all. And then you have them like, you know, a lot of women are curvy. So clothing types, uniforms, you can't discriminate us on how our uniform fits our body. It's your uniform.
Yeah.
So how can you get mad at us because of our body type, basically? It's just stupid.
Yeah, the world's crazy.
And I mean, going back to like the pregnancy too, it's like even like women's, there's a lot of the childs that die under the hands of like doctors. And I mean, you know, there might be it's assumed that might be the case. The racism might be going on there. Like they're like at least less cared.
Less caring.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
And like the generation is very scared. I'm scared to even, as a gay man, I'm scared. I can't even adopt in some places.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still the agreement. No, I can't even have a child to raise on my own. But even if I bring a child in this world, I'm scared because I'm going to have to prepare that child for a world that is not made for you.
Yep.
It's a world that's not made for you. I'm going to have to guide you through life in a way that's different from the white girl that's in my class up the street. Yeah. So I think our generation is having a hard time with settling down and having children because we don't feel like our future is solidified.
Exactly.
I don't want to bring a child in this earth if my future is not solidified, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then, I mean, that's the thing also. It's like, I feel like, that's definitely what it is, like, in the sense. It's like, because I always say this war is really bad, and I'm waiting to change it before I bring my kid.
Yes.
Because that's how much I fear. I'm like, I have to make it happen because they're gonna come. And so when they come, they have to be, you know, there's gonna be like the best that they can. Like, I'm making it a little bit better, so when they come in, it's not as hard as it was with me, but I want them to improve even better later. Yes. So it's like, I'm not saying like, hey, I'm gonna fix it all for you, but I'm like, I want you to see at least better than I saw. That way you can even make the future even better than that. You know what I'm saying? So it is scary, like thinking about the fact that it's gonna happen at some point, and you're not. I mean, sometimes it kind of happens, you know. You never know, really.
You never
so
know.
You have this way. You have to, like, the clock is talking, like, okay, like, I mean, running, because you have to go, like, you don't know when it's coming, so you have to hurry up before it's time. You know how much you're gonna do. And
a lot of our generation is scared, essentially, we're not scared of what's in front of us, because we have built this, we've seen the blueprint of what is in front of us. We're scared of what's going to happen if what we thought was supposed to happen doesn't happen.
Exactly.
And now I have a child that I'm not even ready to prepare for because I'm not prepared.
Yep.
And I think this generation is seeing that. We are seeing that I would much rather be secure in my life and future before I bring someone else into that. So, it's just crazy. I think the world, like I said, is having this big conversation right now. And it needs to be had. It needs to be held, this conversation, because we are actively seeking changes. I'm going to keep saying that. I feel like I keep saying it, but we are.
I love it.
As a generation, we are actively seeking for changes, and I think that's what makes us different from other generations. Some generations were very content with being with where they were. And us actively seeking for this change, yes. Yeah. Yes. So go vote. Go vote.
Please go vote. You're going to make a big difference for the next 4 years, or maybe 8. You know, maybe. So I don't know. It's scary because it's like if this person wins this year, you know, they're easier to stay in basically on office. You know, so it's like. It matters. This matters so fucking much. So much. Please.
And that's what I want to tell people, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to vote because I don't want to vote for Biden, or I don't want to vote for Trump. And it's not about voting for them. It's about having your future in your own hands. It's about being in charge of your own future. Being in charge of your own future. And if you are sitting here and telling me that you don't willingly want to be in charge of your future,
yep.
You know, it's not. And I'm not gonna say Biden's the best person, but I'd be damned if I have Trump in office for 4 more years.
Because I know that Biden is gonna actually do things that I want him to do because he cares about.
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, hi, I'm Malaika. But I know that Biden is gonna do at least some things that I want him to do as a citizen because he kind of cares, at least a little. Yeah. But he really cares about how he looks to the public. Mm-hmm. And since I know that he's actually gonna do something that I want him to do.
And the fact that he's encouraging women to go for, vice president, like he's showing, like, it might be for making me better, but hey, like, at least I'm giving this person an actual opportunity to change the way we perceive women. Like, hey, like, so true. Like, they can do so much more. Like, oh my gosh, Trump would never think of such a thing.
No.
When I see the posters. He is slow, like, yeah.
And that goes back to that backwards thinking that I was talking about. Mm-hmm. It's very clear that there's this community, the people, the culture is growing. We're growing. We know what we want. We know we want to seek change. But we have people in office that are boomers who don't want to seek change. We have people in our political stature right now who don't want to seek change, and because they are in that stature, they're not going to seek change. We need to get people in there who are looking out for us.
And it sucks
Think
because
about Biden. Biden is 78 years
he's
old.
78. Oh, that man is gonna die.
Wow.
He might croak over.
He
no
might
cap.
croak. The amount of stress that he's gonna be.
But look what's gonna happen.
Exactly. And then boom, we have our first black
female president.
Yes, period.
Okay.
Not the first black president is a female. Listen, I love women, y'all. I love women.
Wait.
Not the first
black president.
Yeah,
Is a female.
I forgot about Obama.
The first female president is black. That's what you meant.
Actually, I understand.
This is off the record.
You just got your words mixed up.
It's okay. We just gotta be excited. Just clearing this out.
I don't know how I forgot about Mrs. Obama.
Moving on.
Either way,
I didn't think about Michelle. You just switched the words.
Oh no, I can't forget about Michelle, bitch.
Okay.
Michelle Obama. Period. Wow. Granted, I was a little mad at her in high school when she fucked up my food plan.
Fucked up my food.
The food plan was some bullshit by corporate freaking lobbyists for the fucking food giants. Because she couldn't get that shit out because they're all paying for the government.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All them like Purdue chicken, all that shit, they pay for the government. So they're gonna get whatever they want in there.
Oh,
she couldn't do shit. She couldn't do shit.
They're not gonna listen to a black woman. They're not going to. Not in our government system.
No offense, I didn't want to listen to her when that healthy shit came out. I got mad.
I didn't either. I was a little upset. She's talking about some 3 servings a day, and I was like, "Girl, it better be hot wings and fries."
But her intentions were good. Her intentions were good because black people are we have the leading causes of heart failure, diabetes, and everything. So there's a lot of overweight and obese black children, and she stopped. She was trying to put an end to it. So
and she wanted to do a lot more.
She did.
She talks about that because she got cheated.
Oh, she definitely
got cheated. These are lightly salted, y'all. Okay. I didn't pick.
I only bought those.
I didn't
those
pick these. Who picked those? I don't know. I think instead of the lemon chips,
the mine be great value ones. Mine be great value.
No, great value chips. Slap, y'all.
Don't even get me started on the Kroger chips.
The Lay's lemon chips. That's what I wanted to buy.
They taste like regular sausage.
Oh shit. Not the way we
just having a good conversation. Now we talking about chips.
I know, right?
I'm dead.
I'm sorry. I love this. Thank you for sharing.
No, you're fine.
Oh, no problem. No problem. We love talking, especially. Yes.
That's all we do.
Love talking, especially about things that we're passionate about. Period. And I'm very passionate about my culture and women. Okay. For me to be a male, I'm very passionate about women. I do not play about women. I feel like people disrespect them a little too much, especially a black woman. Don't even give me.
Because if I walk through the mall one more time, I hear. Bitch, do I look like a dog to you?
Ooh, and that's on period.
That's when you fight.
And that's on.
Sorry, I don't condone violence.
Or walking up to my
But
car,
I
I'm
do.
at a gas station just because I look like I'm by myself.
Okay. The walking up to my car.
Sir, you
has
just
to
don't
stop.
know. I have a box cutter.
Thank you. Like, what the fuck is that about? Is that allowed?
I don't know. I will go like clean my
If you're not paying for my gas, back up.
and like, especially now,
Hey,
Corona
hon.
time.
You're so fine.
Thank you.
What?
Good observation.
I was at Food Depot, and a worker at Food Depot came up to me and was like, "Hey, good looking," and I was like,
Goodbye.
I'm
"You are
dead.
at work."
That one right there.
I was sitting down in the, what is it called again? The thing that I was sitting on. You know the disabled
The little
car?
scooter thingy.
Yeah, I was, because my leg was hurting. This man came, he stopped. He's like, "You're beautiful. You have a Facebook?"
Facebook.
Yo, I was lucky freaked out. Like, I was like, oh my god. And then he found me again. He's like, "Hey, oh my god, you look
Bye.
so good.
I gotta go.
I will feel intimidated." And then he was like, my name is this. What's your name? And he made me like,
Shaking his
yeah,
hand?
I was like, oh,
Y'all, I'm sorry, but I'm quick to bring out Adam.
I can't.
What'd you
I
say?
was just like, what the fuck?
I'll
be a nigga
what
today,
you said. No, and when people
I'll
like,
be a
I'm
nigga
at work,
today.
which is ridiculous. This is crazy because I work at a career center. Okay, so a lot of young people come in, but like they don't. If they're coming in, they're in there for a fucking reason, bitch. They're not in there just to be in there, so they're not paying attention to anybody
Yeah,
else.
and also,
But the older
y'all
men,
teach
wow.
people how to use computers. I think a lot of
Okay.
young people know how to use computers.
Exactly. Like these old men come in. Wow. This man left. Well, when I was checking his temperature, he said, "Wow, I've never seen you here before." And I said, "Oh, interesting. Well, I've been here for a while. You can go step on that blue X for me." And then I went back in my office, and then when he was leaving, because I'm in the front desk.
Receptionist?
Reception desk, thank you. And it has a little plexiglass thing between it. So he just stops and he's like, "Wow, you're, hey, hello, sir. What the fuck? I'm clearly doing work."
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was making a schedule, but that's the point. I was clearly doing work. And he's like, "You're really beautiful. Thank you. You're 45. Please stop."
Not please.
And then he's like, "You got a boyfriend?" "No." "Oh, okay. Well, I don't have a girlfriend."
You don't sense the awkwardness.
What?
Oh my god.
Why you don't hit them with the gay?
Well,
I have
the
a
irony
boyfriend.
of it all
I'm
is
married.
that when he asked, he was like, "I mean, we could be friends." And I said, "No, thank you. I'm fine." And he said, "No?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Oh, you're not feeling it?" I
And
could
this
tell.
is where I have a problem because
I could
now,
tell.
What? Because now it's very clear that because you're a man, you expected me as a woman to take these stupid ass lines you're throwing at me and accept them.
Right.
After you just said you could tell that I wasn't feeling you, but you kept going.
You kept going.
What? You kept going past me being uncomfortable.
Just wasting my time.
How does that make sense? How does that make
And
sense?
you want me to like you?
And you want me to like? I'm expected as a woman to like you because that's what I'm told.
Girl.
Kiss my ass. Kiss the crack of my ass.
Okay.
The
I feel
blackest
like-
part, bitch.
I feel like some men need to teach their sons better.
Yeah.
Or that they look at TV shows and stuff like that and they be like, "Oh, that's how I'm gonna really get a girl." Baby, that's booty call from the 1990s. This is 2020.
No, you're right.
What the fuck are you doing?
You are very correct.
What are you doing?
You
Come
not-
at me correct. Talk to me nice.
You not finna little mama me and ask me no.
No.
What the fuck's going on, sir? Can you take me to a movie? To dinner? Matter of fact, let's go there.
And it's
Can you
like,
get my nails
it's
done,
right.
get my
It's
hair
not
did?
even all that. Like, if we go
Don't
to
you
a
see
movie,
that pineapple on top
if
of my
you pay
head?
for the movie, I'll pay for the snacks. Like, it's not even that serious. It's like,
It's like I don't need you to
I
take
don't
care of
need
me.
you.
Just come
It's not
correct.
about paying. It's
not
about
about
respecting me.
exactly.
Like, if you come up to me and you
Because
like,
you're not
"Hello,
gonna bring me to
beautiful.
McDonald's."
How are you today?"
Oh,
Right.
bitch.
Look, I ain't got no problem at Dawn. You can get me a $3 bundle and a sweet
Well,
tea.
if I'm feeling the nigga, then I don't
Then
care.
I don't care.
However,
If you're trying to get me to
Well,
feel
and
you,
if
don't
it's
take me
cute,
to a McDonald's.
You're a cookout and it's a vibe. That's something different.
Yeah. That's very
Because
true.
that's a different thing.
Look, I
But
have
if
no
you're
problem
like-
sitting in your car drinking milkshakes and just talking.
Exactly. But if I'm like, "Hey, let's go on a date," dress up,
And you show up with some Reeboks and FUBU.
okay, and we go to McDonald's, girl, I'm cussing you out.
this makes me want to talk about toxic masculinity.
Oh, I'm out this conversation.
I thought this conversation. What the fuck?
Toxic masculinity
You got information on water? In this one.
angers me, bitch.
Yes. Okay, it's you moving the table.
Angers me, especially when it comes to the gay community. Toxic masculinity as a gay male, for you as a straight man to think that I want you because I'm gay is ridiculous. Because you could be the ugliest bitch on the block, and I would never. Bitch. I would never stoop this low. Bitch, I wouldn't get as low as this ground to get with you, hoe.
And it makes me so
Huh?
when people, if I have a friend and if somebody and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring Tristan around, like, and they're like, no, he might like me. Bitch,
Sorry.
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know about you. What makes you think that? Because you're attracted to, like, are you attracted to every girl you see?
Okay,
No, it doesn't make any sense.
And that's what I'm saying. Why do you feel so insecure about your sexuality that you think by bringing someone who's gay around is gonna make you act some
They're
type of way?
expecting gay men to
And
validate
if that's
them.
the case, then you need to check yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right.
Right, and I'm not here to fulfill your quota. I'm not here for you to discover yourself, bitch.
Exactly.
I'm not here for that. You do self-discovery and then come at me.
Exactly.
Until then, you can keep that. You can keep that shit. You can say that. You can say that. You can say that. That's why I just feel like...
Sorry, y'all. It's because it's 12 hours.
Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I just feel like for you to feel so threatened as a man about what another man has going on
It's ridiculous.
Can you secure your bag?
Exactly.
Can you be in your truth? Can you mind your fucking business?
Like,
Why is that hard? Why is that hard? And it's not even
like.
and it's not even just with gay women or gay men. It's with women too.
Oh
It's
my
with
God.
everybody.
No, you're
Why are you
100% right.
Why are you so threatened by me? By my choice. Why are you so threatened by a choice that only affects me?
Okay.
That only affects me. Doesn't put money in your pocket, doesn't put food on your table or clothes on your back. Why does that affect you
and
so
that's
much?
just like, for me, that's just like homophobia in general, because who I date has nothing to do with
Nothing
you.
to do.
Okay, who I'm fucking?
Exactly.
You're not in the bed with me when I'm fucking this person. So why do you give a fuck?
You're not
It's
even
like
there.
if you don't
even
like
know about it.
someone's job, you don't like hate them. You don't hate them just because they have a job. It's something different because you choose a job. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just because,
But like,
oh, I hate architects.
But I feel like they do that towards women too, because they feel like just because a man thinks he's dressed up nice, if he approaches a girl, then automatically she wants me because I look like I got money.
Oh, I hate
to
that.
me, bitch.
And niggas swear they look like they got money. They'll put on some slacks, some loafers, and a white t-shirt and put a chain on
and a chain on, and think that they look
Baby,
good.
my 6-year-old brother can put that on and still look better than you.
Bitch, if you don't
And
get
that's
that
what
And y'all probably got the same amount of money on in your bank account. 50 cents.
Ooh, 50 cents.
But I don't know. I don't. I just think the men, they just, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And as a man, I can tell you that sometimes I don't think the way that y'all think.
I can tell you that. Wow. The way that we think, insane.
Right.
Boy,
I
women
can
are
say
crazy.
that. But because I'm in tune and I understand, I choose to understand my women counterparts.
Correct.
I don't choose to allow my own insecurities, my own problems affect me.
Correct.
How you live is not going to affect me as a man. That's not going to affect me.
Right.
Unless I'm with you, unless I have some type of tie to you, that's not going to affect me.
Right.
So why is it that you allow me being a woman or me being gay or me being trans or me being black or me being Asian? Why does that affect you?
It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Because just because I see Gianna walking down the street
Right.
and I see that she's a different race than me, what does that do? Like, me hating her? What is that doing for me?
I wonder if we could hide everything about ourselves that people can actually see without us telling them, how would the world actually be? Like you couldn't see my color.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know if I was trans or not. You wouldn't know if I'm gay or not.
Glasses.
We would all look the same. So you wouldn't know if I'm different from you unless I tell you.
But it shouldn't be like that though. I feel
No.
like this is what makes us perfect. Like,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No, I'm saying that's in what people see. As soon as
Yeah.
they see you, they're already judging you. But how can I judge you if I don't really know? If I can't,
It's because
if I don't
brains
see you.
are made to put things in category. Like
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And that's why we feel so forced to do it. And sometimes that's the thing where but that's not really the problem. The problem is when we put negative feelings
Yes.
Connotations.
in us.
Yes.
Yes. And that's where it becomes a problem because our difference is what makes us like
it's such a great species.
Yeah.
Species. Not only we're smart, but we can change and adapt and evolve. And be like look kind of completely different, but sometimes be the same.
Exactly.
Because we're literally the same. Like
Yeah.
DNAs. Like
I think Breanna brought up one time or something about do your thoughts make you or something.
Oh my God.
And we had this discussion that they don't.
Your thoughts, you are not your thoughts.
they change us so
because
much.
even the people that do the most to help other people sometimes, you can't say that you haven't had a racist thought because that's a lie.
That's a lie.
Because as soon as you see someone, you draw a judgment.
Yes.
And just because you have a racist thought doesn't mean you're gonna act racist.
Exactly.
Because that's where that comes in.
I think
that's where being racist starts. It's when you decide, I can voice that.
Because
exactly.
there is an when you visually are observing something, those thoughts are gonna run through your mind.
When you don't hear that thought and you're like, what the heck?
That's when they're fun. Because now your conscience is fucked.
The fuck?
Now your conscience is fucked. Because now you can't decipher what
What's
thought is
right and
wrong
what's wrong.
and what thought is correct.
Exactly.
And that's when you have serial killers and racists.
But the thing is, the judgment comes from because, like, as humans, we have like a certain vanity to where when we see someone, we have to automatically observe how they fit in our life.
Yes.
So it's that whole thing where that's why we like. If I look at you and I judge you, it's like okay. So if I look, oh my gosh, if
I
I'm
gotta know how to
looking,
put this piece together.
Yeah.
right.
This
So it's
puzzle.
I
I gotta
do
know how to
that.
connect this
exactly
puzzle.
the puzzle. So it's like I don't know why that even stumps. Just like you said, the whole moral code thing. Like if you have a thought, then you should. Your moral code is right there to know that no, this is right or
it's
this
always
is wrong.
your second thought is what matters the most because your second thought is
what catches you.
What's catching you from doing stupid shit.
But you know the thing about it, the second thought is really the first thought, but it's the one that we realize.
Exactly.
But it's like that's something people don't understand. Like
Because the first thought is an instinct.
exactly,
And then you actually think.
Yes.
It's not because the first thought is always human nature,
exactly.
but your second thought is you.
yes,
It's not even about you, like you being a human. It's literally just who you are.
Yeah.
It's like the id and the ego, or like something like
Yeah.
in psychology, like your first thought is in your first head, but then everything that you've been trained to see, the whole perceived thing, and then when you actually set into like it's like a whole thing.
Right, it is. No, it is.
Yeah.
Because that shit is like, but people just don't
But
know
that's the thing.
that.
Exactly. Thank you. It's not that people don't want to know. It's
Right. It's that they just don't know.
Yeah, because
So
we study it in school and people still don't
people
realize
still
it.
don't realize
oh my
it.
gosh, let me tell
Because
you.
it doesn't click.
Let me tell you what I realized today. I'm so glad you brought that up because as I was sitting there doing my accounting homework, I was like, I really don't know how to do this, but I'm literally about to finish it. I'm gonna graduate like eventually, and I'm gonna have to be doing this in real life. But I don't really understand it. That's why it took me so long to get my home. Like I didn't do much. I was just really focusing on understanding it fully. Because I feel like throughout the whole time I was just trying to get it done. Like I'm like because I don't know. It's like that particular what's it called? That particular course. It just seems so like. Yeah, it was just kind of like, what? What's the point of that, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like it just took me for me to actually take the time to learn that when it was there, then to to understand it later. Because in my mind I was like, I'm gonna just study it extra next time instead of just learning it when I had it in front of me the first time.
Yeah.
Because that would prevent me for spending that, wasting that extra time. Because now I'm already taking not time that I was supposed to be taking on that, but also time that I was supposed to take in a living life. You know. Yeah. And I think that's where homework feels so wrong sometimes because like you feel like, damn, I'm really doing this for 8 hours and then I have to do more of it when I'm living a life with my family.
Correct.
Where is the family and the relation, the adventures come in? And that's what this goes to TV in media. This is why we idolize the media in movies and stuff because it's like, oh my god, they're having the life that I wish I could have.
that I wish I had.
And that's why we feel so drawn to the media. We feel so drawn to like you seeing other people leaving because it's like, wow, we wish we could have done, but we can't because we don't have the time.
We don't have the money.
Exactly.
I got the time.
But it's a thing. That's the thing. It's like sometimes that money, they just make it so it's harder for you.
Yes.
It does. No, they make it so
Because-
hard for us
yeah.
because the cost of living now.
Oh my god.
Wow. And that's why older people are like, well, I moved out when I was
12. Well, bitch, when you were 12, the houses were 25 cents.
Right.
Now they're $25,000.
Pop was like $1.
Exactly. Like no, that shit is but the wage has not moved.
Yeah, but it's just but it's a thing also. Like for example, at school, they will be living like learning about cooking, driving, and like interacting and just having fun. You know, doing different things like sewing. And it's like
you went to?
No. Before.
Before.
Yeah,
before.
That's
what it was.
And that's why they feel like, oh, it's okay. I'm willing to spend the extra time in school. School is fun because it's like that's where you do things. I realized that the other day too, and I was like, this is so crazy. It makes so much sense why our parents are like, our grandparents were like, oh, you have to like go to school. Like that is like where you're gonna socialize, become like just know how to be a human being. But it's like not longer like that. School is like you need to learn this and that. Yes. You can't do anything else.
Specific. And I think.
And I'm sorry. Last thing. And then this is the thing about learning. It's like they literally teaching you a solution that they find now, but it's like you never know when you're gonna have that question. And that's the thing. And that's where the mistake comes in. It's like they literally focus so much on like when you get to that point, you know, instead of like what is it happening now.
Yeah, and I feel like school does it prepares you, but not for the right things. It's not preparing me for life anymore. It's not preparing me.
Prepares you for college.
Yes, high school prepares you for college, but college. Don't go to college. And once you get into college, the classes don't really prepare you for life. You're discovering life and taking classes now, and now it's a problem.
Because when in high school, it was always you're shooting for that point to graduate.
Yes.
Right. Then I graduated, and I'm like, well, bitch, what do I do now? And I get to college, and now I'm like, wow,
what the fuck?
And now all I'm trying to do is graduate, so that I can what?
I don't know. I don't know.
And I feel like high school, you're on a timely schedule. You know, you gotta be up at 6, at class at 8.
It's an everyday thing.
You have the bell to let you know when you have to leave class. You know how much time you have for this. You have how much time you have for that.
It was.
And then when you come to college, you just like, oh shit.
But all high school is telling you, but college isn't like this. Okay. So why am I doing this? If college isn't like this.
Yes, you're supposed to be like teaching me to get better at it. So I can finish it.
Like
but it's literally I'm learning one thing. I get used to it when I'm a junior. Then I leave and I have to relearn all over again.
Right, because you really, really didn't learn it during that time.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because college
that's how I feel.
I'm pretty sure I learned that in 9th or 10th grade.
Me too. And I
did not remember. Because when she was telling me that stuff in my head, I'm like, okay, I remember this. I know cosine, all this. Okay, and then when I looked at it, and I was like,
this ain't right.
They don't prepare you about all the other factors that come with life.
Yeah.
They don't prepare you about all the other factors that come on outside of school.
What about a taxing class? Like how to file your taxes.
Correct.
How to get a job.
How to get a house.
How to get a home ed class anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know how to cook. My
Yep.
school got rid of home ec.
I don't know how to cook.
I can't say that.
I'm not gonna lie. My school, the home ec, we did have a home ec class,
I can cook.
but they made that for the mentally challenged kids to go.
Wow.
And they canceled that out. But you have seen Butler, so
Interesting.
And while we're on the topic of schools, I want to know why these teachers are getting paid when they losing kids. Because I just want to say, my brother got lost today. My mother went to the school to pick him up, and he was not there. Wow. And today was his first day of in-school class.
What do you mean he wasn't there?
He was not there.
Where was he?
They don't know. That's what they told my mother. They said, can you go back home to see if he's there?
What?
My mother literally cussed them out.
Did he get on a bus or something?
He rode home with the neighbor's kids, but he was supposed to be with the teacher. And the teacher said, he was with me.
Well, obviously not.
He wasn't there.
You see, that would be a whole problem if if a white kid
exactly
would have been there.
If that was Karen's son,
would have been there.
That whole school would have got sued.
Y'all see that news story where they went on a field trip, and it was this black woman's son, and they left him there. They came all the way back to the school, and she came to pick him up, and they were like, "We don't have your child."
Excuse me.
I feel like because all this virtual classes,
you okay with that enough to say that to me?
Right.
As calmly as you are,
right?
You're not.
Teachers.
You
someone
know
had to bring him to the school. Luckily, someone at that fair that they went to was not a murderer because they had to bring him to the school. And that lady went off on the news. She was angry.
I would.
Because how do
you go to school?
How
That's
can
it.
you-
Oh, my mom is
How
transferring him
do you,
tomorrow.
like,
Period.
that makes me wonder, when did you realize, at what point did you realize you left him and decide to keep going?
It's like, don't
Yeah.
y'all take like
Clearly, the
attendance
point
on
is
the
that they
bus?
did not.
They didn't realize that they left him. They didn't realize they left him until the
She
parent
got
was
there
there
and
looking
said,
for her child.
Where is my son?
And they said,
Interesting that you might mention that.
because we don't know.
Because I don't.
We looked in the back and he's not there.
Sorry.
What do you mean?
Telling that to a mother, a
Right.
single mother, she was a single mother at that. Telling that to a single mother, a single black mother at that.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Dead.
Wow.
The
That-
odds are already
I
against
could
her.
understand, like, I can, let me not say that.
The
I could
odds
never
are
understand that feeling as a mother to lose something or for something that literally came from you to be lost and you don't even know where it is and you had no control over it. Wow.
In
I would
society, wow.
fall
I
out.
do not think that single black women can actually be parents.
And you by law have
Everybody
to send
is
them to this school too.
Yeah.
If you don't send your child to school, you're going to jail, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like they force you to follow
They
the
force you to, they
the
force us
rules.
to-
They
yeah.
create. Yeah, we're creating this. We are creating this rule. But reality, let me just fix them around, make it better. Reality, boom. They just literally made it so it works only for them. You know, like 70% of the pollution comes from like big companies.
Yes.
Yes.
That literally blows my fucking mind. And they're saying, go vegan, do this.
But it's
do
us,
that.
right?
I'm sorry,
But
but
it's us,
before the industries and like factories and companies and everything, shit was fine. How long have we been here? Like, we've been here for a minute.
going on?
What? How is it that just like that during the like from the 2000 and some 2000s?
Yeah.
Everything just went down. Like, I think
It's because everybody that is of power got so greedy, which doesn't even make any fucking sense to me. Because what's the point? You could have just been a rich white man down the street that nobody gave a fuck about.
Because what are you going to do?
But
with
now
that
you
money?
are destroying lives.
The fact that we have like what is Jeff Bezos?
my
like
gosh.
a
Jeff
Oxford
Bezos?
degree? He's like so
he's not even
fucking-
a president. He's not even a like.
How does
any,
he have that much money?
I don't
He
understand.
could buy
Oh, but you know what?
everything he
let
wanted
me
and
tell
still
you.
have
Let me
money.
tell you. I watched his documentary and it was very insightful. Like I was like, there's no fucking. This man is literally slowly taking control of every industry. And like he's literally creating, he's trying to change he wants us to go to the outside. He's literally building like astronauts and like space stuff going on. Yeah, that was his dreams all along. And he's trying to build. Look, he's trying to build a whole community where he literally just controls it, and it's like based on electronics. Yeah, and it's like he literally take it. Look, those
That's kinda
things.
scary.
I'm sorry. Look, that little dog, Echo, yep, those things are little. You know, he said, like they say, they are listening.
Oh,
And
I know. Alexa, that's why I don't want.
Yeah. No, they just got here one. I was like, oh no. Yeah, I see what you were talking about. When I watched the documentary, they even say, yeah, we just have it so like they listen for keywords.
Yes.
But that means they're listening the whole time.
It's like the whole pop-up ad thing. Like if you mention like Subway or something, you'll be on Instagram or Facebook, and that ad will pop up.
Yep.
We talk about that in class. It just pops up.
Yeah,
it's to you.
supposedly this to make your life better. And then if you read the policies, you know that they have privacy and stuff. You
It tells you a lot.
And then, let me tell you the funniest thing about it. If you disagree, you can't have the app.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Correct.
Yep.
You can't get on here. You can't have a profile if you disagree.
Because you have to
but
give
the
us our
world is on
freedom.
that app. The news is on that app. But if
So
you
that's
don't,
only way.
it's the only way.
Because we don't have TVs anymore. We only have like the TVs. The advertisement on the TVs are about like internet. I was like
crazy.
DoorDash, Uber, Amazon.
And
I was
internet.
like,
It's
what?
all about the internet, and that's crazy because if you think about it, we didn't get TVs long. TVs came out in the 60s. It has not been that long since we had televisions.
Yep.
And the fact that they're going extinct,
Yep.
girl. Bye, loves. Bye, family.
We're doing it next time.
Bye, love. Be safe.
Y'all be safe too.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I haven't had a TV, and I have not had a TV for at least 4 years.
Wow, yeah.
2 years, I lied.
I've had TV.
There's because I've never watched TV.
Yeah,
I
like
would watch it on my laptop on my phone always, because they were always with me.
Yeah.
Or they would just be like, my laptop's right here. Okay, cool. Whoopsie do. But my dad bought me a TV for my birthday, so now I have. Now I have to use the TV.
I think I grew up on TV only because my mom. I used to go to school and then I get off the bus at my grandma's house because my mom, that bitch works.
Period. Yes, that bitch kills.
That
works.
Bitch works. And I had to get off at my grandma. And my grandma, this 50-year-old woman who grew up with the TV, is obviously sitting in front of the TV all day.
This is what we're going to do today.
This is what we're going to do today. I'm going to watch my TV. And what I can't tell my grandma I don't want to watch TV.
No, but that's how we bonded. That's how we bonded. Because that was the same way because my mom worked all the time. So I went to the same school my grandma taught. So I already would come home with her. We all lived together. And so we would just like bond over
the
movies.
TV, the movie.
And the shows.
We only like talk about movies.
Yes, like my whole family makes movie references.
Yeah,
we talk with movie references.
That's it.
Like because my grandma lived in New York. My great grandma, I lived with them for like 2 or 3 years, and they didn't do much because they were in their 80s, bitch, and I was like 13, and they were like, I'm not gonna go outside and play with you, bitch. I'm not doing that. So I mean, like, I would go outside sometimes. But they lived in the middle of nowhere, so I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I would just lay in the bed with my grandma, and she would be watching like fucking The Price is Right, or The Young and the Restless. Wow, that was her
soap operas.
That was her.
I would hate coming in there, and my grandma is watching.
My grandma used to watch telenovelas. Like she would be like, they ain't got subtitles, but. You see her slap him?
That was my great grandma. Oh my god, my granddad's mom. Wow,
said, I don't know what's going on, but she is mad.
No, for real. We would go to Millsville to visit my granddad's mom. You know, they don't really have that many channels anyway.
Right.
Oh yeah, just chilling, watching telemovie, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Me too. I got in it. I said, wow, this is good.
I'm good.
I just gotta watch their facial expressions. Okay, because they always cheating, y'all. Always fucking cheating. They're always cheating.
Yeah. So many times throughout. You're like, whoa.
And somebody always dying.
Yes.
Y'all. And I am
car accidents.
The drama.
Oh
they
my
love
god.
car accidents.
And that's how you know that it's once again getting back to the government being rigged, because it's like we just all bonded over television, which is technically media created by us, not us, but us. You know, and it's meant to profit off of us. Like even
earlier, you guys were referring to watch movies. Remember, you said, you need to watch that movie.
You need to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Because that's just how we talk. And it's crazy that people don't understand that when Americans talk, we talk very heavily pop culture. Yeah. If you don't know American pop culture, you when you come to America, you're going to be confused. You're going to be confused.
But it's the same way when you go to other
countries. When you go to other countries.
You don't know what's going on in their not only in their culture, because their cultures are very much deeper than ours. As in,
because they have like France and Spain all together. You have to know what's going on.
You have to know what's going on
around more than one country
to even know what's going on.
Yeah,
in
we don't have to worry about what's around. We don't have to worry about above, but Canada don't mind us, and Mexico be minding their business.
Really don't be my Canada. Really don't
South America be minding their business,
right?
So
and it's like,
that conversation about movies, that made me think about it, because that whole the FBI. Oh wow, I forgot.
FBI agent watching us.
Yes.
I think it's so funny that we made that into a joke. Okay. Also, I think that our generation is also
right.
Yeah, I think that our generation is also very traumatized. I don't know what has traumatized us, but
I know what's
a lot has.
The older generation has basically dumped their garbage on us, and we're like,
here's the thing.
Wait a damn minute. We didn't expect this.
Look, they get mad at us, and we're the.
They get mad about how we're trying to fix the issue that they created.
And
basically, you're basically just taking what they exactly. Wow, that's just gives
and that's when people
because they were the one that made it.
Yeah, they were literally the one that came up with the idea. They would talk shit and be like, "Well, plastic straws. This
bitch,
who gives a fuck about plastic straws?" And I'm like, but we're having this problem because this actual issue. Because it's something that you
were a part of.
And now you don't give a fuck.
Now you don't care. Now you want to place judgment on the people who do care.
On the people who do care, but it's our fault. Okay, interesting. It's late. Ooh. 12:50.
Okay, we gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Only because we leave Gianna's house at 12, not at 12:50.
That's right. It was my fault. Well, thank you guys.
Of course.
Bye. Nice meeting you, some of you guys. Bye.